Showtime Synergy.
By the power of Grayskull, I command the jaw bridge. Open!
The Powers of Grayskull series will cover every episode of all four Masters of the Universe cartoons. Join Optimus Solo and myself, TF2 and Mike, as we tell tales of Eternia, discover the myths of Etheria, become masters in space, and finally Masters of Grayskull. We'll have a commentary on the Secret of the Sword film, and a few other special episodes. You can find this 125 episode long podcast in iTunes and on the web at geekcastradio.com. By the power and honor of Grayskull, we all have the power.
Hurry, Skeletor, hurry! I am hurrying, I'm hurrying!
Hi, this is Christy Marks, creator of Gem and the Holograms, and you're listening to a truly outrageous podcast with Mike, Amy, and Nicole. It's Showtime Synergy.
Hello and welcome to Showtime Synergy, the Gem Review podcast here on the Geekcast Radio Network. I am M. Joining me are my hologram girls, Amy, aka Lady Rec, and Nicole.
Help me!
Yeah.
I'm so confused with these two people. I don't know where I belong. I'm so lost.
You're confused.
In this episode, we'll be giving our thoughts on the next 3 episodes of Gem and the Holograms, Season 1. But first, I've got something from last episode.
Oh. Wait, you didn't warn us about this.
No, well, yes, I thought, yeah,
Sort
I told
of.
you guys. I told you, but
ago.
I didn't, yeah, it was a few weeks
It
ago.
was on Facebook.
Yeah, it was on Facebook. So...
I think I know what you're going to say.
After our last episode and the revelation of the quote-unquote lesbian kiss,
Yeah.
I sent an email to Christy Marks, since she is the creator of Gem and the Holograms
I
cartoon.
can't believe you asked her this. I'm so
I know,
embarrassed.
this is awesome.
I mean, I worded it very professionally.
Oh,
and,
yes, it was.
You know, I asked her, you know, very simply, I said, I'll read part of my email. I said, as far as the history of Gem goes, I think there is an unmentioned fact that was grazed over or diehard Gem fans might know.
Die Hard.
The mother of our podcast, Amy, actually had to point it out to me. So Amy is, I didn't say this in the email, but Amy is the one with the dirty mind.
What was dirty mind? I'm just like, you're so forward thinking, hey.
But at the end of the People Who Care, when they're wrapping up Starbright, Ashley kisses another girl that's next to her. We are wondering if this is the first lesbian kiss in U.S. cartoon history. I've attached the image of the scene so you can see it. As I stated, Amy had to point it out to me because it has gone over with a transition very quickly. If you'd like to see the scene itself, it goes through, heck, you probably already know where it is, but it's in Starbright Part 3 at 1850 mark or so. And I had attached the image to the email. Yeah. And I got a reply from her, oh man, maybe 3 days after I sent this, or a day or so after I sent this. She says, "Gack, 30 years, too long, much too long." She goes, if there was a lesbian kiss, it certainly wasn't intentional. Remember that the animation was done overseas. Who knows what they could have had in mind? So, yeah, no history for Gem.
I know, but it was, and I know it was probably completely coincidental, but still, I like to think that it was, you know, thinking forward, you know, forward thinking here. So it make, you know, who knew that 30 years later it was going to make much of a deal.
That was really cool though that they responded to you. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, she's always been awesome. We are going to have her on the show eventually.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah, see, you're alluding that I'm some sort of diehard fan.
no. That's not what I said. I said I'm sure the diehard fans out there.
Yeah.
That's what I had said.
I was
I
going to
didn't.
say, it's not that I don't love Jem. I've just, probably until recently, I haven't even been watching the show.
What I meant in the email about diehards is there are some people out there. They're not
that are still
as-
dressing as if they're in the 80s, which we completely, put our hats off to you.
Yeah, there is that, but there are some Jem fans that are slightly less obsessed than My Little Pony fans, and some of them,
My Little Pony fans are obsessed.
Yes,
it's
you had to
lifestyle.
be
okay, well, not
really diplomatic there, didn't you?
the other version of My Little Pony fans, the world's first bronies. Those people are the ones that take obsession to a whole new level. But
be careful, I'm raising a brony.
Oh Lord. So that's what I meant was by diehard fans was people who, analyze every single piece of, wasn't necessarily saying you. All right, so before I dig myself into a deeper hole here, let's get to the episodes. Wait, what?
This is what happens when you're with Whirl and Cyclonus.
Yeah.
Nothing makes
Hey,
sense.
Jack.
We'll be back after this.
People say the world is in terrible shape. People say we can't escape or cut through all the red tape. But I say we can make a difference. We can turn it around. We can make a difference if we get it moving. Things will start improving. We can make a difference. Everyone agrees something's gotta be done. If we work in unison, together the race can still be won. So I say we can make a difference, get things off the ground. We can make a difference, we can set it spinning, make a new beginning. We can make a difference. 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 We can make a difference if we try.
All right, first up is the World Hunger Shindig. It aired July 26, 1986. Jem and the Holograms are invited to perform at a concert benefiting the victims of world hunger. When the Misfits learn of the concert, they try to horn in. Sally Brand, the woman behind the World Hunger Shindig, tells them they can perform, but can't be on the live album unless another group backs out. Eric Raymond schemes to keep the Holograms away from the concert to make a tidy sum of money for himself in the process. We're on disc 2 of the jukebox. The featured songs in this episode are "We Can Make a Difference," Jem and the Holograms, "Gimme Gimme Gimme" by the Misfits, "Share a Little Bit of Yourself" by Jem and the Holograms and the Misfits. So we have a collaboration between the two. That's
I think that's what you could call it.
Yeah, it was more like they interrupted the song for a couple
Yeah.
seconds.
yeah. I mean,
Give
that's-
it to me.
That's what they do. I like this one. I don't think it's as strong as the other episodes that we've talked about to this point.
It did slow down a little bit in this one specifically.
Yeah, I have a lot more Misfit moments than I do hologram moments for this one.
I have to agree with that one too. Yeah.
I mean, I like this. I think, and at the time, in 1986 when this aired, we were just probably a year or so out of, USA for Africa and everything else, and world hunger was a big hot button issue at the time. And I think that's great that they went ahead and wrote one.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
To keep up with the times, and wrote an episode where they were showing, Jem and the Holograms helping, to provide for the world hunger and everything else. But it's like it just, this one seems so out of place from the other 8 we've already talked about.
Actually, this set that we're doing kind of had a little bit of a theme. We've got the country western theme in this one.
Mm-hmm.
The next one we're going to do is the going to China Oriental kind of theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one is a winter theme. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Just picture they're rock stars. They travel. They go on tour.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it happens. They're going to go to different places. So,
yeah. Was this the first episode where they introduced Sean Harrison?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, because I was going to say there are a couple introductions of people in this one. You've got Sally Brand and the lady that she was with, then Sean Harrison and C.B. Dodd. It's just like, whoa, okay, we got quite a few people that we just kind of introduced them real quick, and so that was at least putting they got FaceTime. So. So.
Absolutely. What did you like about the plot, or didn't like about the plot for this one, Nicole?
What did I like about it?
Yeah.
We're not doing our Misfits moments and everything.
No. It's just the
plot.
Just the overall plot.
I agree. I like the whole overall theme. Trying to do better, making. I just about said the name of the title. Making a difference, and just doing what's right. There's even one point in the show, the Misfits get kind of ticked off at Eric Raymond, and I was like, yeah, they kind of have a little bit of a heart. It's in there. But
sometimes.
So yeah, what's her name? Crap, you just said her name. The texting lady.
Sally Brand.
Oh, Sally Brand.
I like her. I like her a lot. She seems like
I
a
love
nice
the fact that she's just like, I know that Eric Raymond is a weasel.
Yeah. But she's a business lady, but she knows how to do it right.
She's going to wrangle that dude.
All right, let's get to the hologram moments.
Don't give me no hard luck story. I got problems of my own. I got a hunger deep inside me, and my hunger's grown and grown. Yeah. So gimme. I want it. Gimme. I need it. Gimme. Or I'll take it and make it mine. Don't tell me no tales of glory. Charity begins right here. I'm looking out for number one. Do I make my message clear? You hear? So gimme. I want it. Gimme. I need it. Gimme. Or I'll take it and make it mine. Don't expect no gratitude. The only thing I give for free is attitude. Gimme. I want it. Gimme. I need it. Gimme. Or I'll take it and make it mine. Gimme.
All right, for hologram moments, I only have 2. The Misfits mistreat Eric so badly. I mean, I know Eric's a weasel, but seriously, they mistreat him so badly in this episode. I'm surprised he doesn't turn good.
I thought it was brilliant.
Come on, Eric Raymond is the true villain of this series. It's not the Misfits.
No,
He deserves it.
They're just the anarchists in this.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's the true villain. They're the anarchists.
And I thought that was very awesome of Synergy to interrupt everybody to do the introduction for Jim and the Holograms so the Misfits couldn't go on. I thought that was hilarious.
That was awesome.
Because Synergy's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you got, Amy, for hologram moments?
I loved the fact that the Misfits would not share a room. That was brilliant. All 3 doors slammed and they're like, no! It was great. The hologram of the flood was pretty awesome because they get stuck in a ravine and there's this flood. Well, yeah. As soon as the dudes left, the girls get hijacked, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought, I was just watching that going, I wonder how cool it must be because they're like acting, obviously, that there's a flood coming. But how cool would it be to be the person that's like, you know what? Normally you're supposed to run at floods. And this, no, you just stand there just going, help us. It's like as this hologram flows right over top of them. I was like, that. I just had this really odd thought that, I want to be them right now because I want to see that. And then I also loved, of course, I already pointed out, the Sally Brand saying that, knowing that Eric Raymond is a weasel. It was great. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So,
what about you, Nicole?
Let's see. The whole bedroom thing, that was awesome. I have that too. But this was me going back to my childhood days. The use of phones. Okay, they used a pay phone, which was like, oh, cool. But the awesome mega cell phone that they had.
Yeah.
The one that Sean Harrison had to call. Yeah. I was like, oh, look, that is so awesome. Yeah.
I'm like,
good job.
Comes in that big old pack, of like the battery pack and everything. I'm like, for some reason, that was one of those moments of like, that is awesome.
That is so awesome.
Pretty much has nothing to do with the episode, but it brought a smile to my face. I'm like, nice.
Oh, the 80s.
And yeah, the when the Misfits felt ripped off by Eric, and I'm just like, yes. Roxy was pissed, and I loved it. Those are my two that I had down.
All right. We are going to get to Misfit moments after this.
Share a little bit of yourself. Show a little concern. Give a little something. You get so much in return. Share a little bit of yourself. Show somebody you care. Spread a little love around. It feels so good to share. Give all you got to give, all you can afford. Give. So other people can live. Give all you got to give. Think of the reward. Share a little bit of yourself. It's not too late to start. Share a little part of your heart. A little part of your heart. Share a little part of your heart. Share a little bit of yourself. Share a little part of your heart.
And for Misfit moments for the World Hunger Shindig, I'm starting to come around to your thinking, Nicole, because Rio basically screwed Jerica, his girlfriend, in that scene by the picnic table. He wouldn't even let her explain.
I know.
Oh my God! Come on, Rio.
I try. Not
It's
to
like
complain
he
about
never
Rio.
really liked her, and he's just like letting her have it or something.
It's
Yeah.
because she was a rich girl. Yeah, and now
Yes,
he's found
but
a
she
new
lost
picture.
her mother.
She lost everything. I try not to complain about Rio every episode, but it's very hard.
Yeah.
Well, every episode he gives you a reason.
Exactly. He is worse than any teenage girl with his mopiness.
Yes, he's like so dramatic. I couldn't get in touch with you guys for days. I was like, dude, if you can't get in touch with them for days, then maybe you should be going back there to find out what the hell is going on.
Are we saying that Rio is now part of the Mopey Club, so Rio and Ironhide hang out together?
No.
Yes. No, because see, Ironhide being mopey is awesome. Rio being mopey is just not.
It has a reason,
And he does. Yeah, you're right. He has a reason.
Long, hard life. He's lived his life. Rio, he's just being a pansy because he ran out of moves or something.
Amy,
Rio's just a little pipsqueak.
Yeah. Amy, you said that the flood was a hologram?
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I thought it was an actual storm that popped up. Because one of my... Okay.
Yeah. That's how they got out of the hijacking. With Zipper and his crew.
Yeah. All right. The
Surprise!
other one about Rio is... He says something like to the effect of, not to mention my girlfriend. He has no right to say that. He's basically bagging on her, and it's like, oh my God.
Just because she's a girl and she's your friend doesn't mean she's your girlfriend.
Oh, life lessons.
Yeah.
Why would they even have... Okay, outside of the fact that I know the Misfits and Eric Raymond always want to ruin Gem and the Holograms, why would the Misfits even want to be a part of this entire episode? Because they hate helping people.
Well, no,
That's good
the
PR.
thing. They were trying to get onto the live album, which was going to sell millions and millions, and so people would hear their music. They'd be on that album. That was the whole purpose.
Right, but the whole purpose of this entire episode is to raise awareness and to raise money for world hunger, to help people. That's the whole basic premise behind the plot.
They are helping. They're just helping themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how they can rationalize it.
What else didn't you like about this one, Nicole?
Okay. I'm going to go back to that hologram of the flood.
It's going down. She's like, okay.
The flash flood. These have to be the most idiotic henchmen ever. So there's these big cloud storms and this big, huge flood. Do they not notice that they're not getting wet? Really?
Was there rain involved? I didn't think that there was rain involved.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be like miles away and still be in a flash flood zone. So.
Yeah, the rain started coming down on them.
There was because that was one of my other notes that I kind of left alone because of the fact that it's a hologram, because there was 2 seconds of rainfall and then all of a sudden the flash flood comes. That's why I didn't think it was a hologram.
Oh no, absolutely flash floods can happen even though it could be sunny outside.
Oh.
Yeah,
but there was actual rain.
It only needs to happen elsewhere, like where there's a really big rainfall and you're in a ravine, and it can actually come down right in there if you're not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I just know this just because I've been in floodplain areas, so it didn't set off any flags for me going, oh, that's ridiculous. No, actually it can happen. You can be, just a little bit of cloud cover and just hanging out and having partial sun, half clouds, and still be caught in a flood.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that was one of my misfits, because they didn't notice that they were not getting wet. Maybe Thor had a play in it. I don't know. And then
they get spooked so easily.
And here's another thing. This happens so much. I want to like the girl, but she kind of gets on my tits every once in a while.
Just flick her nose. She'll undo it.
Kimber falls in love again after 2 minutes. Oh my gosh, I love him. I'm like, oh, you're not that type of girl. And it happens in the
yeah, it happens again. Yep.
Again and again and again. I thought she was in love with
If you don't want him, I'll take him. I'm like, wait, oh my gosh.
Like, so I mean, she's talking about Sean, right?
Mm.
She's met for a couple hours, and then he decides to go out with some other friends, and she's just like, moping again. Why don't you go date Rio? You guys can mope together.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they're perfect for one another, aren't they?
Ooh, those sloppy seconds.
Sloppy seconds. What you're referring to is the fact that Sean Harrison, like, I couldn't believe this is one of my misfit moments, is the fact that, okay, when they first get there, Pizzazz tries to go, oh, Sean, and he's like, yeah, whatever. But then the next day, they're like, hey, we know where Kimber is, come with us, and he goes with them. I'm like, dude, really? It's like, you don't like them, but you go with them because you want to go meet Kimber. And then she, of course, gets upset at him for going off with them. And the holograms are like, well, just give him a chance to explain. And she's like, and I'm like going, really? Yeah. Oh, man. There's always a story, dude.
Okay, well, now, did he go off with them willingly, or did Pizzazz just pull him? Because I could have sworn she pulled him.
Willingly, because they said the reason why he was going with them was because they knew where Kimber was going to be. And so he's like, oh, okay, all right, I'll come. And then they go off to a bar somewhere, do a concert, and he's like, oh, I'm so bored, let me go home, your music sucks, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, okay, fine, you're really mean. Blah, 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 blah. So they go back, and that's when they almost run into the holograms on a hayride. And that's when they see that he's with them. And Kimber's like, oh, what? Oh, that's where he went to? Yeah. And she's like, oh.
And what? You got to give Pizzazz, a little credit. She just didn't leave him there. She actually tried to give him a ride back home. After he just, like, totally went off on her. So she's not that bad of a person.
Yeah,
she has her moments.
She was just trying to make sure that, he saw
You
the better
say-
side of her. She's
Exactly.
Apparently so. Alright, are we done with Misfit moments for the World Hunger Shindig, or do we have more?
I have
What
one
did you-
more.
Okay.
Unless Nicole still has more. Go for it.
Nope, that was my thing.
Okay, cool. I thought it was kind of funny that they had like, oh, here's the door to your room, Holograms and Gem, and it's like, it's the back door. The other one goes off onto the stage, right? It's like if your names are written on the door unprofessionally, you think that they would kind of like question that a little bit better, especially if there's a sliding window on the door so that they can peek in while you're changing your clothes because they're perverts, right? I was just like, oh my gosh.
I know. I thought of that too.
I was like, hey, ladies, you didn't notice that stuff? And say, wait a second. And the minute they opened the door, they pushed them in. I was like, oh my gosh. Wow. You guys are just asking to have a problem in the future. Oh, goodness. So, yeah. And then the other thing was, this is where I sent the picture to you guys early before we even started recording. Eric has this strange proportional look when Roxy gets in his face about stuff. So it's like the last 2 minutes of the show when the money turns up and he's like, oh, he was, trying to take that money for himself. But yeah, he just got this weird proportional thing that I thought, oh, okay.
He's half the man. Like you said, he's half the man. He used to be.
I was just actually thinking if he had hair the size of the Misfits, you probably wouldn't even notice it.
Nope.
That's true. That's true.
Eric, Big Afro Raymond.
Yep.
All right, we're going to move on to the next episode after this.
You can't catch me however you try. I'm always one step in front. You can't catch me, you wanna know why? Baby, I'm gonna be blunt. You're too far beneath me. You know me in every single way. The people who know me think you're below me, and they all agree. You can't even come close to me. You can't catch me, you're wasting your time. You might as well give up now. You can't catch me, I'm telling you, I'm gonna slip by you somehow. You may think I'm cornered, but babe, I guarantee you aren't quick enough, clever or slick enough to ever catch me. You can't even come close to me. No, you can't catch me. You can't catch me. You can't catch me. You can't catch me. No.
All right, up next is Adventures in China. Air date
That's it.
August. Wait, what?
It's Adventures, yeah. Adventures. You have to say the Adventures.
Yes. Air date was August 23rd, 1986. The Holograms are invited to perform a special concert in China. The Misfits tag along and take notice of Gem's reluctance to part with her Gem Star earrings. While going through customs, they steal the earrings, leading Jerica and the Holograms to race against time to recover them in time for the concert. The featured songs for this one was You Can't Catch Me by the Misfits, Something Is Missing in My Life by Gem and the Holograms, and Love Unites Us by Gem and the Holograms. I like this one. This one is... I like the overall premise of this one, of the Misfits stealing the earrings and then them having to go, the Holograms, Gem and the Holograms having to go find them and get them back. I kind of like that.
I don't know how in the world that she couldn't just take them off and let because like the scene later, she does. She takes them off and it still projects the Gem hologram. So clearly she doesn't need to have them on. And I was like, oh, geez. So many problems with this episode.
This one was not one of my favorite episodes.
It was still fun, but there was just a few holes in it. Let's just say that.
Yeah, there are a few holes, but I mean the overall plot and premise of it, I said,
the idea
the Misfits.
Was cool,
yeah, the idea was cool.
But...
The execution,
not so cool.
No, not so much. We have any other thoughts on the plot, ladies?
I will get into it with all my misfit moments.
Okay.
I don't know the time. I'm not very up to date on, the time of the world at the time. Was it normal for people to be able to go into China and visit like this or be guests?
If you're a Hollywood star and you're doing some sort of concert on the Great Wall, I don't think they've ever had concerts on the Great Wall. But,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, we'd have to go to the
Google.
Yes, to the Google.
To the Google. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna come back with hologram moments after this.
I feel a loss and it's got me kind of shook. I keep on searching, but it's nowhere I look. Something is missing, in my life. Somebody tell me where it's gone. Something is missing in my life. Somebody tell me where I've gone wrong with my life. I move around, keep going day and night, looking for answers, but they're nowhere in sight. Something is missing. On a bus or walking down the street, I feel lonely, lost and incomplete. Something is missing in my life. Will somebody tell me where it's gone? Something is missing in my life. Somebody tell me where I've gone wrong with my life. Something is missing in my life.
All right, folks, it's hologram moment time, and it took them 2005, 2006, took them 19 or 20 of Jim's 30-year anniversary to get people to perform on the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
For me, the Misfits.
Yeah,
that was the number one. That was the number one there.
That was awesome.
Was brilliant.
Must have been lost in translation. What I thought was really cool and interesting was actually seeing Jerica sing, even though it's Britta Phillips, it's Jim's voice, but it's the Jerica animation model because the earrings are missing in the song "Something's Missing in My Life." I thought that was really awesome that we saw her sing. But other than that, that's all I got. What do you got, Amy?
In that same video that you're talking about, we get an angry Jerica face. And she's like, boss, man, you don't want to mess with that face. Angry Jerica. Yeah. And I swear, I think I want to say that I heard a little, like, between the bridge in the song, that there's like a little video game do thing in it. And I thought, oh, that reminds me of Super Mario Brothers.
I think that was, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, because that would have been in the 80s is when it came out, so that it would have made sense. So anyhow, I thought I would put that in there. I really like their costumes in this one.
The costumes were pretty awesome in this one.
So.
Oh yes, I love their Oriental outfits. I thought they were really cool.
Yeah, and then I also like the fact that once they get the earrings from the little girl. That they give her fakes at the end. It's like, oh, well,
Well, they can't just leave her hanging.
I know. They had to give her something. So I was like, hey, even though she had no idea that they were stolen. So I thought that was kind of cute. So I got a whole lot of misfit.
Lynn was a cute kid.
Yeah. He's like, oh, she's so adorable. Yeah.
No hologram moments for you, huh, Nicole?
I have one. And it's when Pizzazz takes out the whole group of the Kung Fu artists. I'm like, wow, she's kicking butt.
Yeah, they need to brush up on their Kung Fu.
We need to brush up on our Kung Fu. God, I love that moment. Oh my God. That just goes to show you don't mess with her. Yeah? They
Watch
should have
that
seen it
straight
coming
kick.
they should have seen it coming. But they didn't. So actually, Pizzazz is more like a ninja. They didn't see her coming.
All right, we're going to get to the misfat moments after this.
We come from different worlds, different points of view, yet there's something we share. We both care, what we share is me and you.
For misfat moments, I only have one, and then I'll let Amy and Nicole go on there. Well, Nicole has a diatribe probably more than Amy does, but
Probably, yeah.
mine was, why didn't they talk to the museum curator or somebody in charge of the museum? Didn't they realize taking the earrings would turn on the alarm?
Yeah.
That's my moments too. I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
I mean, serious? Like, Jem and the Holograms, okay, they have their faults, but I mean, Jem, she's supposed to be the super good girl, does everything by the book, and you'd think that they would talk to somebody and let somebody know about, that Jericho would let somebody know, hey, look, I think those are my stolen earrings, and with, like, they just take them, and, well, first of all, they just take them. They don't open anything, they don't try to, swing from the ceiling.
It's like it's a museum. You know the alarms are going to go off. Come on, girls. Use your brains.
Yeah, that. But it's also, this is a museum, as you said. You would think that if these earrings are so precious to Chinese culture or whatever, that they would have, like, triple pane glass windows around these things. Like, they wouldn't just be able to swipe them. They'd have to, do something, Mission Impossible style to get these damn things out of there, but nope. Okay, so yoink.
Once they actually examine the earrings and find out that they're not even from that dynasty, how did they get in the collection to begin with?
Well, that
let me just ask
the next tirade here.
Okay.
Here's my tirade. One of my tirades. So, like, all my misfit moments go into like one big, and I apologize. Okay, these earrings. First of all, these earrings, whether it just be one pair or all of them, travel more than I have in a week. Okay, in
less than that. Yeah.
In 3 hours, they travel more than I have in a week. Okay, and let's see, the excavating site. So they excavated these earrings. They were curated, and they were put into a museum in that time as well.
Yeah.
And also,
doesn't happen that fast.
Yeah. Also, these earrings. Are very magical earrings. The Misfits made a copy of them. The jeweler decided to manufacture millions and millions of them, and it also put out an ad in a magazine, all within these hours.
Yeah, and they get marketed all across China, so they're like so incredibly popular that when the holograms actually come to the place, the factory where the originals are, he gives it to them because he gives them the ones that he got because. Like they've made him millions already. I was like, it's only been a couple of days.
Exactly. These are some magical earrings. I know they're already magical because Synergy kicks butt, but wow. Either that or the Misfits really know how to mass produce stuff within a 24-hour period.
And
if they did, then why aren't they popular?
Exactly.
So, I mean, all this comes down to. Oh my gosh, really? Yeah, there's my little tirade. Magical earrings are way too magical.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. What about you, Amy?
Okay, this is the only Misfit moment that I have left because we've already hit all of them. It's like the fact that the Misfits actually wear them to begin with after they swipe them. I was like, come on, ladies. If you really wanted to... I mean, it totally fits their MO that, hey, we're going to brag that we stole these from you. But if you really wanted to get away with it and really wanted to hurt them, just don't wear them. Yeah, because then they would have had nowhere to look. There would have been nowhere to look. But they tipped their hat and became the focus of all of that. They wanted the holograms to run after them. They liked the
exactly. They liked that, and that's why I like them. See, they give the holograms a reason to be adventurous. See, adventures in China wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the Misfits. See,
true, very true.
Yes, it's very, very true. All right, we are going to move on to the last episode of the day after this.
If you ain't up to the fast maneuvers, you're gonna
All right, finally up today is Last Resorts, aired August 30th, 1986. Jim and the Holograms take a much-needed vacation to a Colorado ski resort owned by Rick Franklin, an old friend of Howard Sands. Mr. Franklin tells the Holograms that his resort is being threatened by another resort owned by Eric Raymond. Eric and the Misfits attempt to sabotage the resort in order to bankrupt Franklin so that he will sell the resort to Eric. Meanwhile, Rio and Swenson, the handsome ski instructor, face off in a contest for Jem's attentions. Oh,
another one.
Oh, God.
Out comes the jealous hat.
In order to settle the matter, which resort controls the mountain, the Holograms and the Misfits face off in a ski contest.
Let's remind everybody that Jem is not Rio's girlfriend yet.
Yeah.
Also, but he sure acts like it.
Yeah. Isn't Swenson voiced by Mr. Dan Gilvezan?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I would have to
there's
look.
There's only one little part where it's like, oh, is that Dan? Because it's hard to really tell because he really pulled it off that well.
And Casey Kasem's in this one, too.
He plays Mr. Franklin, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Rick Franklin?
He's one of the guests, yeah.
Oh,
was
he's
he
one
a
of the
guest,
guests.
or was he the guy that ran the
No, he wasn't the guy.
He was the guy that... Did he lose his skis?
Mm-hmm.
He's only got a couple lines.
Okay,
so.
all right. I was going to say, because I thought a couple of places that Rick Franklin was... I was like, is that Casey Kasem's voice? I was like, that's...
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! And then I looked through the credits, but I couldn't see his name, so I was like, darn it! But I did see Dan's name, so I was like, yay!
Oh Lord, good old Bumblebee in a gym show. Talk about some Bumble baggage.
don't. G1 Bumblebee is awesome. He's not pretty much any other Bumblebee, but do not G1 Bumblebee.
Well, you never know. All right, so the writer for this one was Roger. How do you say his last name? Amy Slifer.
Yeah, Slifer.
And about 3 years ago, he was the victim of a hit-and-run accident. Do you want to talk about this for a minute, Amy?
Yeah. Well, at the time, I believe Autocracy came out, and it was like a day or two after it happened, and we had an interview with Flint Dilley, Chris Metzen, and Livio Ramadelli, and he had to cut Flint had to cut the interview short because he was doing a whole PR news reports and getting on things and talking about it because it was a hit and run. They never cut the guy. And so they wanted to get as much out there as possible to see if they couldn't get, people to find this guy that had hit him, because like Roger has not, of course, recovered 100% from this. He's been in and out of operations and whatnot. But the community it was really kind of cool to see what happened, because a lot of people that just barely knew him, like myself, and the other reason why I probably got on this bandwagon was because Flint kind of did a little bit of, hey, this is what's happened recently. We're like, oh my gosh, wow. Or like, did they catch the guy? And anyhow, he had jump off to go do the interview, but it was I followed it on Facebook. They made a Facebook page called Slifer Needs You. You can still actually get involved because obviously since he's been in and out of different places and his family has moved him back east now and he's being watched over and cared for there. But there's a comic book group that's called the Hero Initiative that has a few things up right now. I mean, if you want to get involved, you can just, like I said, go to the Facebook page called Slifer Needs You and look at their about, and it details what the page is about and how to get involved. You can donate, or you can just keep track, and the family is kept on making updates on that, so you can track how his progress has been since then. But one of the things that was expressed is that they just don't want him to be forgotten. So I wanted to kind of put it in here real quick and let everybody know about Roger so that they can, hey, here we are a couple years down the road, but he has not been forgotten. So
absolutely. And I will put the I'll put the link to the Facebook page in the show notes. That way, everybody can just go click on it there. This episode is, as much as we enjoy Roger, this episode is these 3 episodes today have been really strange. I mean, really strange.
They kind of are like an odd little assortment, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. They really are.
Maybe that's why they're all like, let's put them out there real quick, get them where we want them to be, and then we'll move on. So,
I mean, this episode, the overall plot, I hate to say this, and I but really, it feels like a Scooby-Doo plot. It really does. I'm sorry to say it,
That's true.
But it does. You look at this and you see Gem and the Holograms, as I said in the description, they get away to this ski resort because they need a much-needed vacation, whatever else. As soon as they go on vacation, something happens where they have to intervene, or they feel like they need to intervene because, well, it's their villain after all.
Yeah.
And, it immediately turns into a Scooby-Doo episode. The only thing that was missing, the entire episode, the only thing missing was the chase and the chase music.
That's true. That's very true.
Rio is kind of like Scrappy Doo. I want to kill them both.
Oh my god.
He needs to be slapped. It's
Okay,
like, where's
come on
Jerica?
Come on now. I know people don't like Scrappy. I understand it, but come on now.
Scrappy. He's
Come on, Nicole. You cannot say Rio is it. You cannot say Scrappy is as
Rio's
bad as
not that
Rio.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Now.
Scrappy is cool. Rio is not that awesome. He needs to take his purple hair and get it checked.
Maybe that's a sign of infection. It's all to his brain. He's leaking out something.
Dye
hell,
is steeped in his brain.
Even Scooby-Dum is better than Rio as far as characterization.
He's there. Well, there are moments where he actually does save the girls. It wasn't in this episode, but he tries. And they end up having to save him. Oh, I just love the fact that both the guys keep on getting each other's names wrong. He calls him Leo and Swanson. It was great.
Yeah, that's so cool. All right, we're going to get to the hologram moments in a moment.
Oh, it's coming along, growing strong. It's working out, starting to move, finding the groove. It's working out, it's getting in shape, pulling together. It's working out, It's causing a strain, giving me a pain. It's doing me in. It's got me upset, it's making me sweat. It's doing me in. It's pulling me apart, got me in a spin. It's doing me in. It's staying on course, gathering force. It's working out. It's making me freeze. Somebody help me, please. It's doing me in. It's chugging ahead, building momentum. It's working out. There's no way I can win. It's doing me in. It's working out. It's doing me in.
All right, hologram moments for Last Resort. Or Last Resorts, I should say. No, Leo, you can't have 2 girlfriends. Well, at least this Leo had two girlfriends before the other Leo in the Revenge of the Fallen movie didn't even have 1.
Rio, sorry.
Yeah.
That's what is one of my moments too.
Yeah.
Way to call him out, bro.
Uh-huh.
Woo!
I do like how they create situations where Gem has to think on her feet. Like when the one earring is destroyed, at least the other one works.
Yeah, but she doesn't figure that out until after she needs it.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't convenient for the plot. I just said I like the fact that they're writing her to the point where she's actually thinking on her feet.
And they kind of did some really good setup there too, because like earlier, like they said, one of the holograms knocks her in the side of the ear and it damages the earring. Mm-hmm. Oh, I wonder how they would get that fixed.
Yeah,
They go to China to get it manufactured. Ah!
Woo!
Wow. Okay. The last one I wrote down for good moments I thought was absolutely hilarious. Rio versus the bear. I was hoping the bear would win, honestly.
That was kind of laughable. I was like, dude, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Jump on it? It's like, it's just gonna knock you off, man.
That's one big bear.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh goodness. It's
What
like,
about you?
if it was a grizzly bear, it's like, man, you just don't mess with them, okay?
Yeah.
Run away.
You
Lay
dead.
down, play dead.
You're dead.
Oh, play dead, yeah.
That's the myth now. You play dead with any other bear, but not grizzlies. Grizzlies will maul you still if you play dead. Any other bear, but not a grizzly.
They're a little, hyped up on that, awesomeness that they are.
If all bears were like yo-yos, you got to do is give them a picnic basket and they'll go away.
Because everyone has picnics out in the snow.
Yeah.
What?
Everybody's seen Yogi Bear as the friendliest bear ever, right?
Well,
Yeah, boo-boo.
there are people in the state that I live in that actually I've seen grilling in winter, so people are crazy these days. What do you got for hologram moments, Nicole?
Okay, first of all, I think Pizzazz has one of the best insults of all time.
Oh, no.
little Miss Pink Hair, the sing-along.
I love that too. That was part of my hologram moment.
Well, what if it is? Well, if it is Little Miss Pink Hair and the sing-alongs, I'm like, rock on, man! I love her. Of course,
she did good at moment. That was a really good moment.
That was a good one. I was just like, I want to stand up and clap for her. And then,
look at you! You can be so snarky.
I love it. I love it. And then, of course, Swenson mentioning me, hey, you can't have two girlfriends, and I don't even have one. Right in front of one of them. And I'm like, Rio's such a douche. Okay. I also have, the workout song. Let's get real. The Misfits were more realistic than any of the holograms. Most of those holograms wouldn't be able to breast crunch those weights that they had. I love the Misfits, how real they made it. Of course, Aja and Shayna showed they have ninja moves again.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
but it didn't save them at the very end with the contest.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Shauna, she was like jumping around and flipping on those little pieces of ice, and
it's like they've done this all their lives.
I know.
It must be Olympic.
See, I credit
skiers.
Yeah, I credit again the Misfits for putting them into shape. With all these mishappenings.
Somehow they were able to do that in a couple of days.
Exactly. So yeah, those were my hologram moments. But the little pink-haired the sing-alongs. Oh, that was such a good one.
That takes the episode. It really kind of does.
Yeah.
What about you, Amy?
I like that. Well, besides the little Miss Pink Hair and the sing-alongs, I like the fact that they did that. There's an old saying in the baking business: losers, weepers. And then Jem and Rio come in and say, "And finders, keepers." Because they found out the silver vein that saves the day. Yeah. This is why you should never start an avalanche, because they'll find silver.
Again, this is okay. I thought the episode was fairly well written, but again, this is where my whole thing of this is essentially a Scooby-Doo plot.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Misfits, going to basically blow stuff up and everything else, and get an avalanche going and whatever else, and because of the avalanche, we then discover this hidden silver mine that saves everybody. It's like,
which happens to be what they were trying to get to begin with.
Right, but it still is like, I would have gotten away with it if it hadn't been for you darn kids in that stupid computer.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is that the avalanche was actually started by the Misfits.
Right.
And so it's like, if you hadn't gotten them involved, then,
Right.
They
No,
would
I
have
know.
botched it.
Yeah, very true. All right, we're going to head to Misfat moments after this. All right, 4 Misfit moments. I don't. Oh God, Rio. Oh, and
He's
these,
the biggest Misfit moment in here.
I have that in my notes. I'm like, Rio, again.
You don't even need an explanation. Just put Rio as the eternal
Yeah.
Misfit moment.
Mhm. What do you got, Amy?
Let's see here. I think it was I thought it was kind of odd that they split up all the holograms, like as they're doing the contest. Like it's like all of the holograms got taken on individually by all of the Misfits.
Yeah.
But it seemed that, that they were there going neener, neener, when they got the best of each of them. So I thought, wait a minute, can they be in that many places all at once?
No.
They got ganged up on by, they broke them up and then they all got ganged up on. So it was kind of like the MO of the whole episode, to be honest, because now I think about there was that one time where they picked on Jem and they were like throwing snowballs at her, and I was like, everybody was like pounding on her. I was like, dang, man.
Yeah. They must have some good arms, those gals.
Yeah. Oh, and Eric Ramey being squeamish about the crap his associate was planning with all the accidents. And I thought, dude, now you're growing a conscience. Where was that last episode or the episode before that?
Yeah.
That would have been funny. And then, of course, I've already pointed out the whole, they only had about like 2 or 3 days, or a week to get ready for this contest. It seems that they would have needed more time. The Misfits would have needed more time, but,
Yeah.
Absolutely. What about you, Nicole?
Okay, this all goes back to the cave. Okay, first of all, she could get out of the cave, right? Jerry could get. So why doesn't she go out instead of walking through a cave? That's what I'm like. Really, you're gonna go walking in a cave, a place where it's pretty much dangerous that you have no clue about.
Oh, that was another thing I wanted to point out. Avalanche. Okay, if you live in avalanche territory and an avalanche happens, I thought that they had like these alarm things that will actually, like sensors and stuff that will alarm to the people that there's an avalanche happening, right? And if it happens and you get like stuck somewhere, like, well, one, you only have if you get covered.
few minutes.
Yeah, like one, if you survive the avalanche, you're going to die of hypothermia because you're going to be covered with ice if you can breathe. The other thing is that it didn't take Rio very long to dig them out, or to dig out enough of the hole, because he heard Jem screaming because the bear was in the cave. So it's that it could have. I mean, the fact that he found her so fast and dug her out is like, yeah, that's stretching it a little bit. You really would. And nobody even knew that there was an avalanche. I was like, dudes.
Yeah. And then
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there aren't like sensors and stuff. I mean, this is the 80s we're talking about, but
that's true, because I live in avalanche territory, so you always hear about the people in the back areas causing avalanches and stuff. So
yeah.
But most of the time, the people that are hiking or skiing and snowboarding, they're the ones that carry the beacons on them. So
gotcha. Yeah, but it's
okay.
It's not the 80s right now. Did they do
That's
it back
true.
then?
I'm not sure, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I would assume so. They would have had to have something.
Yeah, I need
maybe
to do research
maybe in the
to bring these points up.
Maybe in the 80s they used flares instead of beacon. No, seriously.
Really. I'm trying to think. I'm like, yeah.
If you didn't set off the flare in time, though, it'd get buried, right?
Yeah, that's
an avalanche.
And my other misfit moment was Jerrica is willing to risk her life against a grizzly bear to keep a secret from her boyfriend. This relationship is not good if you're willing to go against the bear to keep a secret.
Good point, Nicole.
When are these two just going to break up? Okay. He's just using her for something else because, every guy wants 2 girls, right? So he thinks it's cool. He tells his boyfriends because honestly, I think he's secretly bisexual, but...
Oh, my God.
And then here she is trying to keep a secret. Hey, you've got 5-inch claws. That's okay. I'll go to go against that as long as he doesn't find out my secret.
I'm surprised he hasn't just figured it out already. Jeez.
Because he's an idiot.
Because it's not like they've been
same.
completely transparent about it. Wah, wah.
It's that they look the same almost. They sound the same when they're talking. They have the same kind of gestures.
And if you're just paying attention, they disappear in front of you.
Exactly. This guy is clueless, man. I don't know why Jerica keeps him around.
Because they need somebody to do the work around the Starlight House.
That's true.
Very true.
I guess if someone needs to get electrocuted, it could be him.
Oh.
Oh wait, was that harsh?
Yeah, you said that out loud.
Oh my god. Alright, we're going to take a quick break and come back with final thoughts and ratings for these 3 episodes after this.
Jim will be right back after these messages.
Ah, brave new world that has such putzes in it. You know, kids, a lot has changed while your old Uncle Joker's been away. New Gotham, new rules, even a new Batman.
It isn't 65 years in the future, but Legends of the Dark Knight has gone beyond. Batman Beyond, that is.
Ah, the new boy. Ears are too long and I miss the cape, but not too shabby. Not too shabby at all.
Join Steve and Mike as they delve into the remaining episodes of the podcast, where they'll cover Batman Beyond, products, games, and more. Check it out only on GeekCastRadio.com.
So let's say you're looking for a podcast of your favorite 80s comic books, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, He-Man, etc. Where are you going to go to find us?
Welcome to Star Joe's Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm Chuck. That's right, everybody. We're the Star Joes. We host a podcast called Star Joe's Podcast, where we talk about your favorite comic books, your favorite toys of all the 80s properties.
Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Mask, Thundercats, Voltron, you name it, we cover it. If it's in the 80s, we'll cover it at some point.
Yes, so what you want to do to find us, you can go to iTunes, you can go to www.starjoes.com.
And remember, the Force will be with you.
Because knowing us is half the battle.
Kid? Yes. Shut up.
Beyond the Night is the GCRN's latest review podcast. We are covering everything in the Knight Rider television universe, from the classic 80s TV series to the 1991 reunion film Team Knight Rider, and the 2008 relaunch series as well. So join TFG and Mike and Dion the Music Man as they go in depth in Beyond the Night, only on Geekcast Radio Network. You can find Beyond the Night in iTunes and on www.geekcastradio.com.
Kid?
Yes, Michael.
Just keep driving.
Hey, I'm Gary.
I'm Mike.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Justin.
Join the 4 of us every week on the internet's #1 and longest-running G.I. Joe podcast, What's on Joe Mind?
It's Joe news, reviews, and interviews like you've never heard them before, delivered right to your MP3 player.
Our guests include Jason Marsden, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Matt Yang King from G.I. Joe Renegades, Larry Hama, Robert Adkins, and John Barber from IDW Publishing, and many more from around the online Joe community.
Yeah, it's guys talking about Joe. Think of it as Joe Talk meets Sports Talk. And we make fun of Chuck.
Right, and we... Hey, again?
Come on, Chuck. We're just kidding. Kinda.
Sometimes Chuck makes fun of himself.
Right, and we... Okay, seriously, this is just getting ridiculous now.
It's What's on Joe Mind, every week on the Geekcast Radio Network, InsidePulse.com, Stitcher Smart Radio, and iTunes. Download and listen today.
I suppose I still can't say something about Transformers, can I?
Come
Good.
on, man.
No.
What about sports?
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's all right.
And now, back to Jam.
Alright, we are back, and to rate these 3 episodes, crap, I forgot what we give them. We're giving them earrings, right?
Earrings? We're gonna use stars, I thought.
Stars, earrings, same thing.
We can make it up, change it every time. There.
Yeah, there you go.
Change it up.
Yeah. So for the World Hunger Shindig, I gotta give that a 2 out of 5. I liked it, but it wasn't... Again, as I've said this, and as we've all said this episode of the podcast, these 3 cartoons are just way too strange.
They had too many little holes, I think.
Yeah.
I think the strongest by far was probably the Last Resorts one.
Mhm.
Because it seemed like more happened in there. Excuse me. More happened in there, and there wasn't as many holes, it seems.
What about you, Amy, for World Hunger? What are you going to give it?
World Hunger, I think I'd give it about the same. That makes sense. It's a 2. Yeah. It seemed slower, although we did get a lot more out of it that was kind of building, and we'll get more, like, again, we're going to have more about Sean Harrison later. It did seem like, it just seemed like one of the weaker ones, so.
What about you, Nicole?
I actually would probably like this one a little bit more than you guys did, because I actually really enjoyed 2 of the 3 songs.
Oh yeah, the songs in there were great. Yeah,
they were great, and the gimme, gimme, gimme. I really like those 2 songs. Those are like I really could listen to this as in a longer format. That'd be awesome. And you had some good, humbling misfit moments. Like I said, Pizzazz gave the guy a ride home after he was being a douchebag to her. Roxy was upset that they got ripped off. There's some glimmering hope there.
Yes, so she was upset that they got ripped off, not that the World Hunger thing got ripped off.
Right. It's the little spark to, ignite the engine.
I have to agree there with the gimme, gimme, gimme. Out of all the Misfit songs that I think that they come out with, I think that's the one that's most sticks in my head because it just works so well. So when I heard it, I was like, this is one of my favorite, Misfit songs.
Yeah, I really liked it. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 3 because I enjoyed the music in it.
All right. Adventures in China. For me, I'll give it a 3. Well, like I said, I like the premise of them having to get the earrings back. And there were that's the other thing I liked about it was that you actually it shows Jerrica doing the singing, even though it's Jim's singing voice, but it's actually the Jerrica animation model, so that's what I liked about it. What about you, Amy?
Yeah, I'm also going to give it a 3. It seemed, I liked where it was going, but there were a few holes.
Yeah.
And we've already illustrated a few of them already, so. But yeah, it was, like I said, I really liked the costumes in that one. Just pretty. I liked it.
Absolutely. What about you, Nicole?
See, this is the one I probably have the hardest time with. I really could skip this again. I mean, there was just so much ridiculousness. Like I said, I love the outfits, and I like little Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. I thought the whole thing was kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I'm giving it like 1.5 stars.
Ooh,
not here for it.
slam.
Yeah, like I said, this was one of those episodes. I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. Besides Pizzazz kicking some butt, I'd say this is probably one of those episodes I probably would go back and rewatch.
Yeah, I guess I can get your point because like the whole thing was based on the earrings, but
it didn't make sense. It was like Michael Bay timing.
Oh no, it wasn't that bad. Come on.
How do you manufacture a magazine?
There wasn't enough
millions of
explosions.
Earrings? You had museum stuff. You had, it was just, they're talking about doing a concert within just a couple days, and all this happens in 48 hours. No.
Right.
And what ticks me off is Aja. She's talking about being in China, and they really didn't use Aja. What the hell? Really? Come on.
She tries taking them out with a statue.
Yeah, she's a Chinese character, and she's going to China. Use her. Okay.
Well, they kind of did, didn't they? Because she did read. She read.
She
Chinese.
read a whole 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. Yeah, like I said, this would probably be one of those episodes I'd skip over in the future.
All right, Last Resorts for me is probably the best one of the day. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I just really, really dug it. There are a few glaring problems, like with the avalanche and with Rio fighting the bear and stuff like that, but overall, it was pretty enjoyable. What about you, Nicole, Amy?
I'll give it a 3.5. No reason. Yeah. I'm sorry.
A goal.
I'm with Amy, 3.5. You know why? Because it had the best insult probably of the whole series. Come on, that was awesome.
Little Miss Pink Hair and the sing-alongs.
God, I love that. I don't know what that. I love that line. There was just like a lot of. Again, it was the Misfits that made it for me. They're the ones that got all creative and stuff. You know? Yeah. So 3.5 for me.
Yeah, I will say about these 3 episodes in this podcast, probably why we felt that they weren't as overall, why some of us felt that they weren't as good as what we had seen previously, is because they were all done by different writers than Christy Marks. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but World Hunger Shindig was written by Mary Skrenes, and Adventures in China was Beth Bornstein.
I'm sorry, Beth, that was bad.
Obviously, Last Resorts was Roger.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for joining us here on Showtime Synergy. There are still ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on all the other episode posts. Email us, feedback at geekcastradio.com. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter, at GeekCastRadio is the network Twitter. Mine is TFJ and Mike. Amy, what is your Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter at Lady of Wreck. Woohoo!
Nicole?
You gotta spell out the yoo-hoo, too.
Yeah.
I'm Beatles Diva. That's Beatles like band, not bugs.
Become a fan. Yes, become a fan on Facebook. Facebook.com/GeekCastRadio Network. Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Showtime Synergy and wish you'll join us next time when we will be reviewing the next 3 episodes of Gem and the Holograms Season 1, those being In Stitches, and then we have the Music Awards 2-parter. For now, I am M with...
Amy!
And Nicole!
Tune in next time.
Peace out!
Let's get truly outrageous with Showtime Synergy.
Aloha!
Me and my friends are Gem Girls.